then the question, because I think the hearts of the American people are with the Ukrainians. The question then becomes, what should the United States do? What would you recommend, sir?
Well, we've got to make sure that we continue giving Ukraine the necessary weapons, bullets, and body armor and other things they need to take the fight to the Russians. And then we've got to be very careful of, a no-fly zone and what NATO or the United States actually does, because one United States fighter pilot shot down by Russia over Ukrainian airspace means that we've escalated this thing tremendously. Even a NATO country coming to the aid of Ukraine gets in a conflict directly with Russia, and then this thing escalates into a larger global war, World War III, that nobody wants. I know I talked to a lot of folks in my district events. We don't want to see our men and women in the United States military in harm's way, and we don't want to see this thing escalate. I don't know what the end result is. I know that President Biden's going to NATO next week, and I hope he goes to NATO with a Winston Churchill resolve and not a Neville Chamberlain position.
It's kind of interesting as we continue our conversation with Congressman Jeff Duncan, and I think everybody's pretty much in agreement. Nobody wants to see World War break out. At the same time, do you think it's been somewhat of a mistake to communicate what we will not do, that we've really kind of communicated our fear of nuclear war and kind of signaled that in many ways that Vladimir Putin can pretty much do whatever he wants with impunity?
Yeah, you should never tell your adversary what you would not do. Vladimir Putin is definitely saber-rattled with regard to nuclear weapons, whether it's tactical battlefield weapons or the fact that he has weapons pointed at Washington, D.C. I'm fearful that the rest of the world is watching so closely at the United States response. What's China going to do in Taiwan? What's Iran going to do? Biden at the same time is negotiating a new nuclear deal with Iran, which will expedite their ability to have a nuclear weapon. This goes back to the Obama policies of redistribution of wealth. If the United States and Israel have a nuclear weapon, then it's okay for Iran to have one. I think that mindset is prevalent in the Biden administration as well. And here's the thing, Iran is the largest state sponsor of terrorism, and they are not a good actor and responsible global citizen, and so they do not need a nuclear weapon. And, that's one of the biggest things I'm fearful of right now, is that this administration is going back to the table. They lifted some sanctions on Iran. All the while, we've got Russia and Ukraine, and we've got China threatening Taiwan.